Another ex-CIA director comments on UFOs and shares a paranormal story. Humans Are Free reports. For anybody who has heavily researched the evidence behind paranormal phenomena, it's common that hearing about other paranormal phenomena is simply normal. And we know that John Radcliffe has informed us with his interview with Maria tomorrow that on June 1st we will have UFO ET disclosure. Now, concerning this paranormal experience, the evidence does suggest paranormal events happen all the time. Culture simply has not caught up to realize how normal these events are. Those who recognize how normal these events are include scientifically minded people like Dr. Jessica Utes, former chair of the Department of Statistics and professor at the University of California in Irvine. What convinced me, she says, was just the evidence. The accumulating evidence. As I worked in this field and I got to see more and more of the evidence, I visited the laboratories even beyond where I was working to see what they were doing, and I could see that they had really tight controls. And so, she said, I got convinced by the good science that I saw being done. And in fact, I will say, as a statistician, I've consulted in a lot of different areas of science. The methodology, the controls on these experiments are tighter than any other area of science where I've worked, she said. That was her take on the remote viewing phenomenon, where people are training to view details about places and objects from a position very far away. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. It illustrates the non-local nature of our consciousness. The remote viewing studies Utes is talking about are incredibly rigorous and yielding repeatable results time and time again. When it comes to numerous experiments at the quantum level, consciousness has been shown to have some sort of effect on physical and material reality as well. There are also topics such as precognition, telepathy, and more examples of mind-matter interaction like distant healing, which are quite intriguing. What I find the most intriguing are the examples of people with special abilities. I came across much of this documentation via the CIA's electronic reading room. Examples of children and people with psychokinetic ability able to break through spatial barriers by teleporting small objects in small containers from one location to another, perform paranormal writing, and more, all done under controlled double-blind conditions. When it comes to the topic of UFOs, they're going mainstream with extreme legitimacy as well. This has many people concerned that mainstream media and government disclosure will result in perception manipulation regarding the phenomenon. Many longtime researchers feel we will get a sanitized version of disclosure. That is to say, many key details will be left out purposefully, yet the government will claim all has been told. Having studied the subject for approximately 15 years now, I can tell you that the phenomenon is quite vast and touches upon all aspects of humanity. There's a lot of the UFO story that I did not think people will ever hear about from governments and intelligence agencies. If you want to go, you can read to the article archive. There's a link here. Now, the former director of the CIA, John Brennan, 2013-2017, was recently asked about the UFO phenomenon and expressed his belief that we may be dealing with some sort of form of life. This is what he said. I think some of the phenomena we may be seeing continues to be unexplained and might in fact be some type of phenomenon that is a result of something that we don't yet understand, and that could involve some type of activity that some might say constitutes a different form of life, end quote. James Woolsey, another retired CIA director, 1993-95, also spoke up on the subject in an interview with John Greenwald, founder of the Black Vault, a resource for declassified documents pertaining to UFO-related phenomena. In the interview, he describes an interesting paranormal event that happened to a plane that was frozen and stopped in the air at 4,000 feet. He also makes a number of comments about the UFO phenomenon. So the plane was frozen and stopped there in midair, 4,000 feet up. He said, a friend of mine was able to have his aircraft stop at 40,000 feet or so and not continue operating as a normal aircraft. What was going on? I don't know. Does anybody know? We'll have to look into it. There have just been enough things like that have occurred, he said. So I'll leave a link below for you for this. You can see the video on that if you'd like. It's about 20 minutes or so, 15 minutes. Thank you for your support, and please leave your comments.